So we're back with another one. We can see that price has now traded into the fair value gap that we've been talking about. You can see that this 4-hour candle has a strong bearish momentum. You can see we're now underneath the 4-hour fair value gap that we're looking at. So if price closes underneath here, I don't just want to buy immediately. I want to see what happens because we're looking to buy within this fair value gap, sweeping these liquidity points at this point, and then we want to ride the buys back up into these levels, targeting this daily fair value gap up here, pulling in the daily fair value gap that we've been testing price. So now price has this big bearish momentum that just happened at 6 a.m. US time. These are all US times. It's 9:11 right now, almost 9:30 New York opening. So we're monitoring price to see what price gonna present to us. Because right now it's showing that it's pulled in this whole fair value gap and we're now underneath. So as soon as this 4-hour fair value gap, 4-hour candle closes, um, that's when we could look to maybe test this area again and then want to pull in lower. So we could be looking at this low here. This is our bullish range, right? So this was last week's low and the high is up here. Oh, I think it was actually, that was the previous week. So Thursday, Friday, yes, Monday opened here for the 5th of May. Monday opened here. So that was Monday playing off for the whole week, and Friday closed at this area in price right here. So that was 2 weeks ago. This range from this pricing over here, price moved down, price moved up, and that's where we closed. So this was the new week opening for last week. So this is the 12th of May, last week's open. So price opened here, and then we had this whole bullish run up towards there. So since price has now showing me this level of displacement that it's bearish, most likely looking to come into that weekly point of interest, and that's where we could possibly look to then want to ride this thing up. But at that point, I don't want to just be entering again. You can watch the previous videos that we've been going through. We don't just enter randomly because that's when we're going to get stopped out. If I have entered at this midpoint, just placing it because we're in this fair value gap, I was going to be tapped out. So we want to wait and see how price is reacting, and from there we could catch that move up because we're still looking to go up. This is a major bullish trend. Price is just giving you discount of this market to ride higher. On this daily time frame, you can see that we're looking at this low as last week, major low, right? There's this breaker structure over here, so supply flipped to demand at this point in price. You see, so these are levels that we could be looking to come into since that price has given me that sell displacement over there. We were speaking about this fair value gap, the fulfillment fair value gap, which it used at New York's opening here on Wednesday to ride higher, sweeping the liquidity, and then price then had this big drop to the downside, sweeping our stops at this level. And as it done that, it tapped into our 4-hour point of interest, right? At the 4-hour point of interest, it went back to the 15-minute. It created a lot of liquidity at that point, swept the lows one more time, and then pushed up, sweeping the highs. So it tested this fair value gap over here, and it used that fair value gap to then push price lower until this point. You can see this happened just before market close at 3:30, just before market close, and then price pushed off. These are all new US times, New York times, so please keep that in mind. You can see that we swept that high, and then at 3:30 we had this push back down, closing below the 15-minute fair value gap, and we tested it. This is this morning at 4 a.m. We then swept these highs, testing back into our 15-minute, and we then had this major sell-off down here. So that was the trade from this fair value gap over here, that it retested it as a flip, and then it's now down here. It filled in our 4-hour fair value gap completely. So now I didn't just enter randomly. I'm still not in a trade, and I missed all of these entries over here. The only entry I took for the week was this pricing over here up here that pushed into the fair value gap. We locked some profits, and then we got taken out at this point. So overall, with that 7% that we spoke about and the 3% that we spoke about here, so that's almost like a 10% for me for the week, which I'm happy with that. And yes, we could move on and see how price moves. Yes, we missed this whole big ass move, but it's not about wanting to be in every single move, because that's when you're gonna be stopped out and the market is gonna rip you apart. So just sit back and wait to see how the price is gonna deliver itself. But we most likely looking to retest this level since price closed below it. Is on a 15-minute time frame. Price closed below this 4-hour fair value gap. We had this big displacement of it. So we'll want to see what New York Open does. That's in about 13 minutes from now. So at New York's opening, we want to see maybe if price could come up. If not, it's gonna ride down, sweeping these levels over here. Possibly want to take that weekly low of last week's weekly low. The Sunday's opening is at this candle over here at 6. So that's half 4. Sunday's opening is this. Yes, Sunday's opening is this big ass candle up here that pushed price away, taking highs and continuing taking highs. This is London push up there, happened at 3 a.m. London's push. So we could possibly want to trade back into these levels over here. There's liquidity sitting right in this price over here. So we want to see how price is going to react to that. But on my 4-hour time frame, I was looking for price to come into this fair value gap and give me a shift in structure, and then we look to want to ride up. But price has not done that. You can see on this 4-hour candle, we closing aggressively under. So if candle closes underneath the zone, it's 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 violating my zone, which it's not giving me the entry. You can see 15 minutes. If we go to the 1 minute, you can see we entered the fair value gap at this level, pushed up, then we pushed down. You see it's been pushing like this. You see that's the market structure at this moment. You see, so price has not given me a shift in structure to say, okay, you can go look to ride higher prices. It's keep on going lower and lower. So I'm not in a trade at this moment. I'm just sitting back and I'm waiting to see if price could come to a point of interest that's more likely to want to move price, a discount price of price in this market. Because right now we in premium, we highly in premium. We tested this fair value gap. This fair value gap is now dropping price. So we're coming into this daily fair value gap as well, I see. So we want to see if we're gonna move off this daily fair value gap or want to come for that low at that point. You can go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, it's this candle over here. So that low, possibly want to sweep this low as well, and then price could then ride up from there. So in the next week or two, we could possibly look to catch that swing trade up. So there's no rush and there's no money lost at this point. We made a 10% at this point to there, which was a perfect trade setup. So yeah, that's it for that. I'll possibly be back in a bit when New York opens to see how price plays out in that time period. But just a quick one on New York setup, what we could possibly looking for is you can see this big displacement down into price. Price then closed below this on a 1 minute time frame, right? So at this point, price has given me this area in price over here. That's a low in price, and we just swept this high and be pushing down lower. So this high over here is the area I want to see swept if price wants to move lower, right? Same with this area over here. This is a liquidity point over there. That's the previous high that we've been coming from. So is this level over here, the previous high we've been coming from. So if price wants to move lower, I want to see it come back into this 4-hour fair value gap, into that 4-hour fair value gap over there, sweeping these highs. And then from there, we could possibly look to want to catch the trade down, taking these lows, possibly going lower for lower pricing. So we want to see, but this would be the target to be safe with, to target this low instead of targeting some random low that you think it's going to come to and it doesn't come to that level. So this would be the levels that I'll be looking at. Price would want to maybe tap back into the 4-hour fair value gap, sweeping these highs. These are liquidity at these points. So once we get the liquidity sweep and we see a move down, we could possibly enter the trade of the fair value gap that it presents itself, and then we ride that trade down for the day, sweeping these lows. So yeah, I'll be back with that one in a bit. We'll see how price reacts in this one. So New York's open just happened. It's 9:30. So New York's opening over here. You can see price sweeping this high in this price. We're sweeping that level. We're tapping into these levels. This is a fair value gap on the 1 minute. We also have this high which we could be monitoring up here. This would be the extreme level of this 4-hour, because you can see price came down from this level over there. So we could be monitoring this high to see if price wants to trade to this high and then possibly want to push lower. So we can see the fair value gap on the 15 minute. I used this 15-minute fair value gap, but then on the 1 minute ended up refining it to this fair value gap over here. So I want to see how price reacts into this level. If it presents a fair value gap that's looking confident to take a trade off it, then we'll sell off that. But if price continues going up, we're looking to fill in this 15-minute area over here, this big price down. So I could even mark the fair value as this from this whole range in this price, because it's unfair pricing to buyers and sellers. So that's a fair value. So could potentially want to trade to this high over here, trade to that level, and then we could look to sell off in price. So I'm just monitoring New York's open right now. I want to see if price is going to trade to this high over here, and then possibly want to go down for that move we've been looking for. Because these are the only liquidity points in this market. There's 1, 2, 3, price taken them, and this will be the final level to want to go and ride. So if we ride this level, most likely we're going to get a displacement in here to want to come down. This is also testing into our 4-hour fair value gap. It's retesting the level to then want to ride it lower. So I want to see how price presents itself in this level. This is on the 1-hour time frame, pulling up. How's the 4-hour looking? So now my 4-hour time frame is getting a rejection. The 4-hour candle is about to close in a bit. 10 o'clock the new candle starts. So we want to see how price reacts in this level now. We swept this level, still have this to go and possibly want to full in this on 4 hour. But I'm most likely seeing our fair value gap that we're looking to buy off inverse itself and be a inversion fair value gap, because you can see price had this big displacement down closing underneath it. So we're looking to retest this level in here and want to sell. So I'm just waiting to see where I can get the sell entry off right now. New York opening 10 minutes in, so we're waiting to see. So we were looking at price coming up into this level, right? We mentioned about this 1 minute fair value gap, which was aligning in with the 15-minute fair value gap that we wanted to get filled. We wanted to see this high getting swept, right? But as we saw when we came up into price over here, price filled in this 1 minute fair value gap, filling in the 15-minute fair value gap, and within this range, in this pricing over here, we have this move over here, right? Which price when tapped in, we can move that for a second. So price tapped into this order flow over here, right? We were looking for the peak of the highs, but price already swept 1, 2, 3 these levels over here, filling in our fair value gap. So once we came up into price, right? Once we came up into price over here, we were just monitoring price and see how price was moving at that time. We weren't rushing to take a position. You could see prices breaking highs every time as going up, breaking highs again. So push up to here. But remember, each high take is a liquidity feed. You see these highs, relative equal highs, liquidity swept it, and price moves down, then it moves back up higher, right? Pulling in the fair value gap. So at that time, we were just sitting on our hands and waiting to see how price moves and what price presents to us. So as it pulled up into this area, tapping into that order flow, I was just monitoring price, right? Seeing how price moves and how we could potentially get involved. So at this high over here, price moved down, right? Came back to it, creating relative equal highs, a double top area. So it swept the double top area, and then it has this aggressive move back down, right? So when it had this aggressive move back down, this was telling me that this high over here was a successful liquidity feed, right? That price moved away from it. It presented a fair value gap. This first fair value gap that is presented is a high probability fair value gap after a liquidity feed and a move away in price. This is a high potential fair value gap that was presented. So when price came back to the fair value gap, tested it, and we moved away, moving away once again. We came back to it, just slightly sweeping this high, and then price dropped, right? When price dropped to that area, when price dropped and taking this liquidity at the bottom over here, I was looking for this high to be a protected high level because it just swept liquidity and had this push to the downside, right? Keeping these liquidity. So I was looking for that to be my protected level, right? So in this push down, since that's a protected zone that I'm looking at, I was looking at where is the liquidity in this pricing. At this level, we have this move down, move up, move down. So this minor high over here was a liquidity zone that I was targeting to sweep that price. So sweep this high. You see there's a fair value gap, same thing here. So we had a successful liquidity sweep that price pushed away. The first fair value gap that presents itself. So this was here. first fair value gap that presented itself after that liquidity sweep and a successful push off. The only time you know that it was successful liquidity sweep is when you have this push off in price. So once you have that, you're waiting for that liquidity sweep again on this minor structure, tapping into our first fair value gap that presented itself, and then price moves down from there. So at this point, this was where I was looking to take the trade at this point. So that was my trade entry. Then price moved all the way down, keeping these lows over here. We have this pullback. In this pullback, I ended up placing more orders at this zone. This is in our 1 minute fair value gap that we spoke about there. So I took more positions in here, and then price moved aggressively down. You can see how this 1 minute candle closed. That was a big move. So 1 minute, 1 minute. So we in deep profit at this moment, from this point to this point. So I'm monitoring trades from here because this is where my my most trades are placed right now. So I want to monitor this area and price. So if price comes back to these areas, I'd be break even on these trades. And in this trade, I need to see close them or still keep them running to possibly go down. Because what price could do is price could want to come back up into this level because this is liquidity sweep over there, successful run down. And our first presented fair value gap would be this level that is a very small fair value gap. So we're just monitoring if price wanna go back to this leg because the fair value gaps are quite small at this moment. Would say it's still holding price, but we're monitoring them. So you can see these highs, relative equal highs at that point. So liquidity at these entries that we took as well. So price for them just wanna come back up, retesting this level and wanting to fall through. But this was the entry. One after that liquidity sweep and the push down, giving us a fair value gap, taking the trade off there, and then we place more orders in here. So we're targeting this fair value gap that New York presented itself and tested it, moving higher, moving higher. So we're looking to come back to that, so that's a drawing price. We're looking to trade back into that. If we go to our higher time frame a bit and look at what the higher time frame is presenting. So this is our 4-hour fair value gap that we spoke about. The 4-hour fair value gap there. You can see we traded into that 4-hour fair value gap. Price has not presented a buy entry for us just yet. So we not looking for buys just yet. But we do have in mind that liquidity has been taken. We still got liquidity at these lows to be taken. And then from there we could possibly look to then wanna ride this trade back up to these levels. But right now we're trading in our 4-hour fair value gap that we mentioned. And you can see how we're trading into that 4-hour fair value gap. So we have that 15-minute, full in that 15-minute fair value gap. You see the level over there, filled in, tested this area over here, and we had that push down. So yes, that's basically the trade that we took on Friday, just before market close. This was at around 3:40. Just around market close, this was around 4 p.m. New York time. Just before market close, that's the trade we taken these 1 and 2. You can see this trade is currently running about 6%, you can say. And then this position up here with the stop above that protected high that had the liquidity sweep. You can see 20 pip stop loss, and we currently running around 6% on that as well. So this one was a smaller pip stop loss around the 8 to 10 pip, and this is a 20 pip. So this was the first position stop loss above that protected high. So yeah, let's see how that plays out. I'll drop a new video coming up, so please like and subscribe to the channel. and let me know in the comments what you guys think and what's your biggest take on these videos. And yeah, I will drop another video showing you guys the forecast of this week coming. It's the May 25th, May 26th week, Monday, May 26th. So yeah, thank you guys for staying tuned. See you in the next one.